Matt.
Yes.
We went to Origins.
Yeah, we did.
2016. This is the second time we went.
Yes.
Now we're going to recap these experiences.
All right.
Origins Game Fair takes place in Columbus, Ohio.
Yes.
And you want to start?
It's a game fair.
We're basically going to talk about...
There's games there.
There's games. It is 5 days of gaming.
Yes.
It is.
I didn't know it was 5. I thought it was 4 like Gen Con, but I didn't know it was a 5-day event. So
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with Tuesday being a trade day for people of the industry or whatnot.
Gotcha.
Gen Con's just 4 days with a trade day, so it's 5 days total. But basically, we went Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We did this last year too, so this is only the second Origins we've been to. And overall, let's start with this. What was your, because we went last year and we talked about this, but what do you think between last year and this year? Like the differences. Were you more excited? Like, this is all in hindsight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, did you like the first year better? Did you like this year better?
I mean, I was excited just for my general reasons that I enjoy Origins, just that it's a little bit more laid back atmosphere. There's not as big of a crowd. You can run around and play games a little bit more leisurely and just more of them because there's not crazy amounts of people that you're fighting with to demo with. I mean, I don't think that there was that big of a difference.
Between the 2 years?
No, it was pretty much what I expected it to be. So. Yeah,
I thought it was fun. You said the laid back atmosphere. It definitely is laid back. It does have a lot of people. There was like 12,000, probably 13, 14,000 in that area. I don't know what the official numbers are right now, but there was quite a bit of people. Now I feel like everything's a little bit spread out. We're going to go into later Origins versus Gen Con.
Yes.
So we'll try not to compare and contrast too much right now, but as far as the experience, I thought it was fun. I thought the vendors area was a lot better than last year, just because I felt like last year I don't know. I didn't feel like there was that many good vendors or vendors I was interested in. Let's say that.
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed like last year we were more focused on just really trying to play games.
Yeah.
Now I will say I had a lot more fun this year. And something I can expect in the future that you don't really realize that a lot of these people working these booths are the designers.
That's cool.
And
I wrote this on here.
If you start paying attention to who designs games and then you start looking at name tags, it's like, oh, wait.
Yeah, whoa, yo, you're teaching me this?
Yeah, this is your game. What's up?
Or you're like, oh.
Yeah,
they're teaching me this.
That can happen sometimes, but it you just don't realize that I guess these people, their full-time job is not just designing, it's also doing other things within the company. So they are there to promote the company and their game along with it. So
there is less business for them there, I feel like, and so you're going to run into these people. So if you want to meet designers and publishers and whatever, especially designers or artists or whoever, this is well, maybe not artists. You could probably meet those at Gen Con pretty well too,
right?
Because they have their own booths sometimes. But as far as designers, this is the convention to meet them at.
Right.
I feel like it's big enough to where a lot of designers are going to be there. And not be, some publishers may not want to go to like a smaller convention, so you're probably not going to see a lot of designers if they travel with that company.
Mm-hmm.
But here you're going to see a lot of designers. You're going to play their design, games with them and things like that. They're going to have a lot more time to stay, sit and talk to you for 5 minutes and just kind of, talk about whatever, even if it's not gaming related. And
right.
They're probably pretty excited, so that's, they're going to focus on games more so. But, unlike a bigger convention where they're going to be, something like Gen Con, where they're going to be off doing like meetings all the time, or meeting with other industry professionals and stuff for various reasons, trying to pitch their games and things like that. Now, they probably are pitching games here, but I feel like you have more opportunity to meet these people.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I was actually surprised by most of the time when we talked to designers that we knew. I've been in meetings all day, listening to people pitch games. That's evidently a thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just meeting people that are showing off games and taking the pitches in, and then they kind of, I guess that's the first round. It's up to them to decide, to tell their company, hey, take a deeper look at this or this and that, or sorry, this won't work for us for either, this just ain't our time of game, or just try again.
Right, exactly. One thing we were alluding to earlier with the Queen's Games, they had a play to win stuff set up.
Yes.
There are events that you schedule, and the event was you play the game, you pay the $2 generic or whatever, or they actually had the events in the event book.
Yes.
So first come first served to that, but some of them you could get in with generics. Anyway, you play the game, you get taught the game, and whoever won the game, like won the actual competition of the game, gets a copy of the game.
Right.
How'd you feel about that, Matt? In comparison to Lexicon,
yes,
play to win, where you play, you get entered into a raffle for that game, and at the end of the night, they raffle somebody out.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe we just misled ourselves in our minds with the play to win, because we at Lexicon, it is pretty much just straight up rent the game out, you're putting in a raffle, it's a drawing. Okay, no big deal. This was, you figured maybe they were having, it wasn't an event, it was limited. You figure that's so that 20 people don't come, and, maybe they only want to give it out to a certain amount of people, whatever. But it's a tournament.
It is a mini tournament.
It is pretty much a tournament. So I think in the future, if I was going to do one, I'll go demo the game first and then sign up, so because there was people in my group, I think everyone in my group except me had played the game before.
And you said they played it multiple times, right?
I don't know if they played it multiple times, but they definitely knew what was going on.
Yeah, there was one guy in our group who had played it, I think, 3 times. The other 2 were an older couple. They hadn't played it before, so I had a little bit more of a fair battle at that point, because the other guy was, he wasn't doing that great anyway.
Right.
And even though he's played the game. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't like that at all. I want to play your game. It's a play to win. It's supposed to be fun, non-competitive, but now you've added competition.
Yeah, now I'm going to compete for it.
Right, but the other guy in my group was slightly a jerk based on the fact that they were asking questions. It's like, well, we've already went over this rule like 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to rage quit and flip this table over on you.
Yeah, well, I mean,
can't stand people like that.
It's not a tournament setting. You wouldn't think it was, but they kind of make it.
Yeah.
So I could see that being an issue with it. I don't know. It's just nice to know for us, but there's going to be people, if they do this again next year, run into the same problem.
Well, I'm pretty adamant about emailing them and letting them know my thoughts. That's BS. Like, don't do that.
Right.
Stop it. That's not fun. Your chances are pretty good at winning a game. If it's a 6-player game, it's a 1 in 6 chance of winning.
Right.
If it was a raffle to where those 6 players get enter into it, and they randomly draw the person, then you can casually play the game, and it's like, well, if I win, if not, that's cool. But it should be targeted towards people who want to experience that game for the first time, not a tournament. Mm-hmm. If you're going to make it a tournament, then make sure in the event catalog that it says this is a tournament.
Right.
Maybe it did. I don't think I remember seeing that, though.
I wouldn't know. I didn't look. You all just told me about it, so.
Right. So I was slightly disappointed with that, because I didn't know until the very end.
Right.
I was under the impression that I was like, I'll play this game and then somebody's going to win it. I didn't know it was going to be, otherwise I'd be straight up more cutthroat than I was.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a lot of opportunity to do so because no one else was doing it. Right. I did it a few times just because it made sense, but I would have done it a little harsher.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I had a learning curve. I think in the first round with everybody who had played it before, it was kind of like, oh, wow, look at these guys go. Like I said, that we were bouncing people left and right a lot. It happened a ton in our group. Every
game was
round,
like 15 minutes longer than
every round, it was happening a lot. So, I kind of had a little bit of a learning curve, but I adjusted with it and kind of went with it. I came very close to winning. I think I lost by 2. But I could tell when the guy was asking who point total, I was like, this is not random. Is whoever has the highest points just won this. Yeah,
I keep track of the games we played, so I asked what people's point totals was, and then he was like, "Oh, you win! Congratulations!" And I'm like, "Whoa, I didn't know that."
Right.
I didn't say anything because it's like whatever. I mean, if I want the game, I'm going to buy it. It's not like I'm dying to go to these places to win free games.
Right.
I just thought it was a cool experience, and if you won the game, cool. If not, and I like the game, I'm going to go buy it. But the problem with being in a competitive environment like that is, if you were treated really badly by the people around you because they were acting like super jerks, so they wanted to do all this like, I'm going to exploit the rules against you basically, then why would I buy this game? I'm going to walk away from it extremely irritated.
Right.
And I'm not going to be as likely to want to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a bad taste. It just puts bad taste in people's mouths, and it just wasn't thought out, I believe. I think they did. I was talking to Jason. Jason is somebody we met at Lexicon. He plays games and stuff with us all the time, or at Lexicon. He also demos games for Queens, and apparently he was. I don't know how much he wants me to tell this, but I'm going to tell him anyway. Hey, Jason. He said he was outvoted 2-1. He actually did not like that idea.
Oh, really?
I think he's a pretty fair person, and he saw that coming up. It's like, why do you want to have people compete over a game they've never played before?
Right.
Because then you're going to have a bunch of vultures come in here.
Yeah.
Try to take all the games and stuff.
And that's why he's my boy Jason.
Yeah. But the rest of the convention was pretty cool. I mean, I felt like, for me, oh man, did you write down the games you bought, Matt?
I didn't. I did buy games.
You didn't buy games. Yeah. We all bought games.
Yeah, that was another thing. Usually, I know last year we went, and funny, I told my wife, "Oh, don't worry, it's just Origins. Most I'm probably going to have to pay is my hotel and for food and the expense to get in and get there and stuff." And last year that pretty much held true. I think I only came home with home stretch. And I think that was because I spun and won like 20% or something from the R&R booth.
You haven't played that yet.
No, I have not.
We need to fix that.
We'll get there. But, so that was my selling point to my wife this time. Don't worry, it won't cost much. And I bought a few more games than what I did last year. But, I mean, not crazy. I think I bought 6, but.
That's not bad. Last year I bought Nations the Dice game. I bought 2 other games. I knew I came back with 3.
Yeah.
This year I had 13.
Oh, wow.
A little bit more.
Yes.
Let's talk about what games we have, because they're right here on the shelf behind me, Matt.
Okay.
I got Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
Now, I'm not really that big into the game, or the IP and stuff.
Don't tell everyone about the deal. I want it to be at Gen Con.
No.
No, it's fine.
I got it for an insanely low price.
No, it's cool.
It was almost single digits.
It was pretty ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, yeah. And I really like Gale Force 9 and other games, so I'm looking forward to trying it out at least.
Yeah.
Now, Cool Stuff did have a bunch of Essen releases there, and they had them for really cheap. And I picked up a few of those. I picked up Dig Mars.
Oh, you did actually pick some up?
Oh, yeah. I picked up Dig Mars, which I don't really know what it's about, but it looked cool. Mm-hmm. I picked up Archaea. Archaea?
Yeah.
I don't know. That it just looked cool. It had a lot of dice, and it just looked like it could be a neat game. It got a really good, I think it has a 7 on Board Game Geek, but low rating, so that's probably skewable. I picked up Waste Nights.
Yes.
So
WAP. Or walk. No, walk. Sorry.
That's actually just a gauntlet holding the boomerang.
I know, but it looked like an O to me. I thought it was called walk.
I think everybody does, yeah. But what was cool about this is that it was one of those games that last year, obviously these are 2015 Essen releases. The Dice Tower podcast, obviously I contribute to that, and one of the contributions was, what game are you looking forward to for the Essen releases? So I looked through all the Board Game Geek preview thing. There was some lightning in the background, man. So if you can hear that,
we're going to find out. We were worried about storms coming through and if you could hear them or not. So
yeah. So anyway, what's pretty neat is they had the game and it was really, really cheap, and I picked it up. I was ecstatic that I picked that up. So anyway, I picked up Isle of Skye, Kalis for a really cheap price. The secret code 13.4. We played that at the hotel. Picked up Lost Cities. Got Dead Last, obviously, for a review copy. I got Johari, which is a cool little game I wanted to try out. Mayfair had it pretty cheap. I got
very cheap, actually.
Yeah, very cheap, like $7.
$7.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got let's see. I got Get a Life from R&R Games for free on the Spin the Wheel. They have this little coupon book. You tear out the thing, give it to them, you spin the wheel. If you win, you win. Pretty cool.
Yes.
I got Kitty Paw.
Yeah.
It's just a cute game I got from my wife. And last I got Happy Salmon.
Yes.
Ridiculous game.
Off the top of my head, games I remember getting baseball highlights. What else did I? Oh, the some. I don't know if we're gonna go through surprises or anything, but one surprise at this was Upper Deck has games now.
That's true.
So I picked up their Cthulhu game they have.
Like past collectible card games.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
they,
like
they
board
have
games.
board games, which floored me. I had no idea that was coming, so that was pretty interesting to see that. What other games? Man, I'm not going to sit here and make dead air trying to think of it, but
Well,
you should have told me. I would have wrote them down.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I don't know why, but other than that, I mean, I just thought Origins was a nice time. I don't know if I want to go all 5 days yet.
No,
It's definitely like you can get into stuff, but I feel like you kind of have to schedule events if you're going to go that long.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I mean, unless you go with a bunch of people and you just run around demo and stuff, or you do the Mayfair games or whatever. There's a bunch of companies where I did think it was cool that their vendor area is right next to the game area where you play, but a lot of vendors are in there.
Yes.
So you can buy games from them even after the vendors hall closes.
Right.
You can play the games that you're going to buy. I mean, it was just kind of a neat. It's a little bit different, and I do like that. But at the same time, I feel like there's still, or maybe we're just so new to the Origins scene that we just don't know the hidden gems as much as other conventions.
Right.
There could be a lot of stuff you can get into, but I feel like over 5 days I would be struggling. It is a lot more relaxed, so if you go there and you have tons of friends you don't see, that's definitely a convention you can just hang out with people.
Well, and that's what I've not made that many new friends at any of the other conventions because you had the time to talk to them.
Right, exactly.
And like I said, they're designers, they're reps for businesses. It's just it's neat in that sense. So
yeah. Well, any final thoughts on that before we move on?
I hope we go 3 days next year.
Yeah, we'll probably do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, we did go to the Dice Tower live event, which was really fun. We had a way bigger hall this time than last year.
Yes.
I helped out a little bit with running camera, which is always fun. But it was a good show.
Yeah.